folks, by way of introduction, the stock market, Dow Jones, up 369 points. And we will have Jerry Willis on the show to report on that a bit later in the show. But first of all, I want to talk about the war situation. It is day 5 since Iranian-backed militias attacked a U.S. military base in Jordan, killing 3 American patriotic troops and wounding over 3 dozen others. Before that, 2 brave Navy SEALs were lost at sea in the aftermath of a Houthi attack. So we're at day 5, 120 hours, and still no U.S. military response. This is an insult to the brave soldiers who made the ultimate sacrifice. It's an insult to the injured. It's an insult to their families. And frankly, it's an insult to the entire country. The Biden administration has done nothing to retaliate, nothing to honor them, nothing to defend American freedom and security. Am I really the only one who is making this point? I certainly hope not. Now, today, in a very shaky and sketchy press conference, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin said, now, quote, "We are not at war with Iran." Really? With all due respect, sir, I believe the United States is at war with Iran, if for no other reason, because Iran has declared war against the United States many times. And by sponsoring 166, at the latest count, attacks against U.S. military assets, Iran has essentially declared war against the United States 166 times. General Austin's concerned about the Houthis and ISIS. Well, okay, but remember, Iran is the puppeteer. Iran is the paymaster. U.S. officials are leaking that the American response will not include Iran, but it will hit Iranian proxies in Iraq and Syria. To me, this is simply inadequate. We're not hurting Iran. We're not telling the Chinese to stop financing this war by buying Iranian oil. We're not interdicting or impounding Iranian oil ships that are violating the sanctions put in place by Congress and authored by the Trump administration. Iran was nearly bankrupt 3 years ago. Today, their oil and foreign exchange reserves are totaling somewhere near $80 billion. 3 years ago, they were producing 1 million barrels a day of oil at best. Today, they're up to 3.5 million barrels, in violation of the sanctions, that is, the sanctions that have been either lifted or relaxed by the Biden administration. Now, numerous military experts, former members of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and others, have strongly recommended that the United States retaliate by bombing Iranian oil fields or offshore oil rigs, or bombing Iranian command and control centers, or bombing Iranian terrorist training centers. But none of this is apparently going to happen. So the Bidens continue their misbegotten policy of Iranian appeasement. They refuse to implement clear economic and military deterrence. Years ago, Ronald Reagan took out nearly half the Iranian Navy in retaliation just for hitting one American frigate. 4 years ago, Donald Trump took out Qasem Soleimani, the head of the Iranian terrorism. That is called deterrence. To this day, it seems pretty clear the Biden administration still wants to do more business with Iran. A nuclear deal, for example. Invite them to the high table of Mideast and world nations. This approach that first surfaced during the Obama years is utterly delusional. The empirical evidence shows it to be delusional. You cannot buy off the Iranians. You cannot appease the Iranians. So, it is day 5, 120 hours after 3 brave patriotic service members lost their lives to an Iranian attack, and countless others injured, and 166 attacks on our military and attacks on our American honor. 5 days is 5 days way too long. And that is my thought on this matter.